The Jewish population in New York City is roughly 10%. At Columbia University, they're in the top 15 of private universities by Jewish population. And Jewish students that we've talked to at CBN, they tell us they simply don't feel safe here. One freshman even filing a lawsuit against the university for failing to protect her against anti-Semitism.
I choose to be hopeful that nobody would attack me physically, but do I feel emotionally safe? Do I feel welcomed? Not in the slightest.
Daniella is a 21-year-old freshman at Columbia University. Before her studies, she served in the Israeli Defense Forces as part of the Search and Rescue Brigade. After October 7th and subsequent war, anti-Israel protests flooded the university. Daniella even received death threats on the anonymous social platform SideChat. She's now suing the university for allowing anti-Semitism to thrive.
I'm asking for the administration to step in and ensure that anti-Semitism cannot run free on my college campus. And I think that's the minimum.
We're talking not just about verbal harassment, anti-Jewish epithets being hurled at Jewish students as they walk to class, for example, but we're also talking about acts of physical violence.
Mark Ressler, partner at Kasowitz, Benson & Torres, is representing Daniella. He's also suing NYU on behalf of 3 other Jewish students, alleging civil rights violations for its anti-Semitic educational environment.
The schools we're looking at are viewed as among the most elite universities in the country. We're talking about Columbia, Harvard, MIT. The fact that these institutions of higher learning have permitted their campuses to become hotbeds of bigotry is a very sad fact.
Plaintiffs are asking universities to follow their federal obligations, specifically under Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which protects Jewish students from hatred and bigotry. In an email, Columbia acknowledged the lawsuit and the Department of Education's investigation of 7 colleges of reported incidents of anti-Semitism.
Posters of Israeli hostages have been spread throughout New York City streets. Many have been defaced, even torn down. Now Jewish community leaders are calling it for what it is.
This is terrorism. This terrorism. You have to realize that you can. It is so dangerous to ever say that murder of innocent civilians as a strategy, not as an unfortunate byproduct of war, as a strategy to seek out children and women and to kill them horrifically. If that is your strategy, your response to the oppression, that is a moral response that can, a caliber of immorality that can never be sanctioned.
Rabbi Dov Yanakorn leads a Jewish community of more than 1,300 students and young professionals at Chabad House Bowery near NYU. He says the spike of assaults, vandalism, and harassment against Jews have led to a 30% increase of young Jewish students leaning into their faith.
Right, this is horrific, but thank God the Jewish people react well under fire. And this has caused such an explosion of Jewish life and Jewish community and Jewish optimism and Jewish faith and Jewish practice.
The rabbi says recent events, however, have parents reconsidering sending their kids to NYU and other universities in question.
These problems are coming from the top down. This is not... These are educational institutions that come with a bias and agenda.
Educational consultant Jennifer Brozo says the failure of certain universities to stand against anti-Semitism is having a negative impact on early school choice.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, and a lot of students have these schools are off their list, and they're going to other schools.
Whether these investigations and lawsuits tarnish the Ivy League reputation is yet to be seen. Now Jewish leaders encourage allies and partners with the Jewish community to stand against anti-Semitism as the fight makes its way to our nation's capital. Reporting in New York City, Brody Carter, CBN News.